Hello there, Wild Sauce appeared, and for this episode, welcome back to Lollipop Chainsaw. By the way, I'm sure you all missed it. I personally didn't. Anyway, last topic that I gave for this particular game, it was what was it? Anime. That was it, and I was considering what other subjects was relevant to this particular game, and one subject in particular stood out, and that would be music, of all things. And I've always wanted to talk about music on my channel. I can't speak right now. I'm still tired from that one trip that I had. You'll find out, if you've been following this series at all, you know what kind of trip I've mentioned. Anyway. Like I said, I want to talk about music, so let's talk about the subject that I've been wanting to talk about. Well, as some of you may know, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it at least once, but My Chemical Romance is my favorite band of all time. God knows that look at that. Did you see that? That was a field of coins. That was deceptive, that turned away from those coins, and Johnny was pretty upset. In case I need to remind you, it's Johnny now who's playing this. And now we're about to experience the worst part of the game, in the history of the game. Behold its glory. Behold. Do you see that? That is a baseball diamond. And I have not slowed this down because it is a mini game. It's a zombie baseball mini game. Just let you know, because Johnny's playing this, he beat this in one try when he was over here. He beat this in one try. And it's not because I suck, though that may be part of the problem. Because I did this 11 times. I counted the continues at the end of when I tried this. I tried this 11 times. And it didn't work. Anyway, the controls are horrible in this part. The fucking... but the grenade launcher becomes useful. It does. Anyway, back to the topic of music, which I barely alliterated on. If that's the correct use of the word. I do love My Chemical Romance. It was the first band that I ever truly devoted myself to. I hated their last CD. I hated it so much. Because of that last CD, my faith with them has dwindled. If their next CD fucks up like this last one did, then they'll probably be demoted and I won't have a favorite band. But God, I loved their other stuff. Everything else was just solid to me, in my personal opinion. I know there are lots of stereotypes and hate that come along with liking that band, but what can I say? I'm a man who knows what he likes. But the first... What the hell? That was a loud fucking engine that just rolled by my window. Anyway, the first band that I actually branched out towards, me growing up in the 90s, I never really got to expand my musical tastes beyond the typical boy bands and Britney Spears and everything that was popular back then. And I would say that the first band that I actually branched out to listen to was actually Panic at the Disco, which once again, stereotypes and a lot of hate that comes along with liking said band. I still think that they're pretty good, but I don't fall into their category as being one of their favorite listeners, but I still listen to them on occasion. And I don't fit the stereotypes anymore. Let's see, what else is there in the musical category? My favorite artist, however, is something really interesting about me, is that my genre, my favorite artist, my favorite band are all from 3 separate sides of the fence. It's very, very interesting. My favorite artist is hands down David Bowie. And to be fair, I did not like his stuff the first time I listened to it. I mean, I just don't know. Everybody was giving him so much praise, and I was just like, what is this? I don't like this. His voice is not very fun to listen to. But now, I love him. I love him to death. The first song that made me fall in love with him was Magic Dance from what is now one of my personal favorite movies, which is Labyrinth. If you haven't seen that, please, for the love of God, see it. You will not regret it. I don't think you'll regret it. I haven't met anybody who doesn't like it.
Juliet, Mom, can you believe Cordelia wants to buy a motorcycle? Oh, there's no way. Those things are death traps. Bad enough your dad has one, and the same goes for you.
Surprise cutscene. But God, I do love David Bowie. I mean, my favorite songs by him have to be It's Almost a Tie. It's either it's actually all 3. It's a 3-way tie between, once again, Magic Dance. By the way, Labyrinth has the best vocals of any movie album that I can think of right now. But now it's time for a cutscene, so I'll shut my mouth.
Cordelia! What? Juliet! There's something on you. No, Cordelia! That's just my boyfriend, Nick.
Oh, hey, Cordelia. How's it going?
Hey, he's cute.
Thanks.
Ouch.
The whole no body thing is cool. I wouldn't have to worry about gaining weight. Food would just fall out of my neck.
OMG! Then I wouldn't be as gross and fat as I am now.
I don't want chewed food falling out of my neck. That's disgusting. Bye-bye, Straley! Onward to further victory!
Juliet, execute maneuver 54V. Right. 1, 2, 3! Good luck, sis! And you too, cute head boyfriend whose name I forget. If it isn't the Pirates of the Jerkoppian!
You've got a lot of gall setting foot on me ship, Stelpa.
Getting a little seasick.
All right, boys. Ymir, let's cut this bit into bite-sized chunks. I'm gonna use her face to make a hat! And use her spine as a back scratcher! Let's show her the Viking way! Ha 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 ha!
Quick cutscene again. Hold on. I want you to hear this quote, and then I'll continue what I said. I promise. Come on, screen. Come on. Here, loading screen. Good boy.
We are Vikings, short and stout. We like to drink and fuck, fuck, fuck.
I love that line. Anyway, my favorite songs by him have to be, like I said, Magic Dance. Secondly, I'm Afraid of Americans, which was my personal theme for quite some time. It's actually a co-op effort between him and 9 Inch Nails. If you haven't listened to that song, by God, listen to it. And then my personal favorite, which is Modern Love. That probably is my top favorite, if any of them. I don't know even how to describe why it's my favorite. It's just, and I'm sorry, I just don't know how. Anyway, now that we're on this boss battle, it's very important because, oh yeah, quick mention, my favorite song by Mike Chem would have to be Famous Last Words, which is an underground favorite, kinda. It's from their Black Parade album. It's a fair song. I just like it because of the lyrics. Anyway, back to the reference material that is my favorite genre. That would definitely be power metal. Of all things, power metal. And even though that's kinda sort of relevant to this guy's genre, which is Viking metal, because there is some Viking power metal out there. Can I name some stuff off of my head right now? Well, I guess you can kinda count Rhapsody of Fire as Viking metal. That was actually, I mentioned Rhapsody of Fire during my first ever walkthrough episode of Elder Scrolls Oblivion. That's how long I've known them, and, well, I've known them longer than that, but I do love Rhapsody of Fire, though. Honestly, I considered the lead singer kind of a show-off, but hey, what can you do? It's a band. I mean, I can't think of a favorite power metal band. If I had to choose, it would have to be Dragon Force. I know. I have so many favorites that get so much hate. But honestly, they're only my favorite as of their new album. I mean, The Power Within, holy shit. I fucking loved it. I'm glad that they toned down the guitar masturbation. I'm glad they really toned that down, which was sort of the #1 complaint that they've always gotten. And I hate talking about this because I like them so much, but their lead singer, ZP Theart, left, and that he was replaced by, I think his name's Mark Hudson. I think that's his name, or Hanson. I think it's definitely Mark Hudson. And so he basically, I kinda like him better. I'm sorry. It's just he has such a much more wide range than ZP Theart did, and I think maybe it was with his help that they decided to tone down the guitar for a bit. And God, power metal. The reason why I like power metal in particular is because I've always been a metalhead. I've always been, well, not always since I was a child, but I've been a metalhead kinda since, let's see, what can I call my first metal song that I listened to? It would actually probably have to be Bodies by Drowning Pool, which is like the #1 YouTube song now. Anybody who's been on YouTube, who's gone on it at least once a week during the whatever, if they've ever surfed YouTube, then they know Bodies by Drowning Pool. It's so overplayed, but it was the first song I listened to, and I did love it at the time. I still love it, just not as much because of the whole replay value. But regardless, I suppose I like power metal in particular because, to me, metal has almost always had sort of a cynical sense to it ever since the end of hair metal. It's always been so dark, and I know it's awful to say. I mean, I still like plenty of dark metals. I mean, I still listen to like Cannibal Corpse and what else? What else can be considered really dark metal? God, I can't. In Flames. Oh my God, I love In Flames so much. Anyway, although I do like the dark element to it a lot, it is kind of overdone. It is. It really is. And I'm sorry I'm not talking about the boss fight, by the way. I just never found this boss fight really endearing. It was a boss fight, I'll give it that. It felt like a boss fight, but it wasn't really one of my favorites. It just simply felt like, do this, do that, do this, do that. And why, I don't understand why the fuck it is that chainsawing them twice doesn't do a damn thing. And, okay, there it goes, I was afraid. Why is the game sticking like that? I don't remember that. Anyway, I don't get how you in this game, how you have to chainsaw things like twice or three times, and it works the final time you do it. even though it didn't work the other times you tried it. Hell if I know. I blame lazy creative design. But I just like the positivity that it comes with power metal. It's just so much more brighter. It feels like you actually want to go and face down things in a creative, more positive sense rather than hate everything about life. It has its own sort of beauty to it, and not many people can appreciate it the way I do, but it's who I am. I like the power that it sends as well as the positivity of message. It's sort of like pop if it still had soul, you know? In fact, in my personal opinion, I think it has a lot more soul to it than any pop ever did. But that's just my 2 cents upon what my favorite music is. There's a cutscene coming up, and the episode will end on that. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on my own musical tastes, and I hope you guys got to know me a bit more, because, you know, I like it when you get to know me. I don't know why I'm doing this voice, it sounds retarded, so I will end it off here. So with that, you guys stay wild. Thank you very much.
Impossible! I can't be beaten by a little girl! I'm a warrior!
I hear Viking brains are good for the complexion.
This bites my non-existent balls.